So, hello and welcome back yet again to another week with our wonderful intrepid sisters Beryl and Onyx. And this week, as promised, we are going to be going through both Grim Batol and the raid in Twilight Highlands, which the name just escaped me, even though Twilight Citadel. Sorry about that. Brain damage. Hopefully this week's audio will be better. I think I figured out what the problem was. Bunch of dumb technical stuff. All thanks goes to my wonderful son, who is much more technologically savvy than I am. So hopefully there won't be any really annoying whining noise and everything will work out well. I also just realized that I probably at some point need to update this little thumbnail that I use at the beginning of all of these, because Onyx isn't on it, and I probably should have both of my sisters together if they're going to be co-hosting this series. But that's for the future. As promised, we are going to do this as a double header, so let's just jump into it. And here we are at the entrance to Grim Batol with Onyx this week. I think we're going to let Beryl probably do the raid, but Onyx is going to go through Grim Batol, which is a very interesting place. It was founded by the Wildhammer dwarves after the three clans of dwarves basically had a giant war. The faction that joined with the Alliance stayed in Ironforge. The Dark Iron Dwarves delved down deep into the zone that I cannot remember the name of it right now, because I'm telling you, my brain is completely gone some days. Even though I should know all this, because I absolutely love Molten Core and all of those other wonderful places in Searing Gorge and the Badlands and all of that. But that's okay. Anyway, we're just going to keep to it because my brain is non-functional this week. But oh well, life goes on. Now, one really cool thing about Grim Batol is the architecture in here is amazing. Ironforge is a place that I've always loved, but honestly, it's because I think I just have a thing, even in ruins, for dwarven architecture. I think it looks really, really cool. So let's just go ahead and pick up these quests, see what these guys need us to do. Farseer Tiranu would like us to kill the Courier, Darga Shadowburner. Now what's happened is, after the Wildhammer dwarves took over and built Grim Batol, they were driven out by the Dark Irons, who were in turn driven out by the Black Dragonsworn Orcs. And I'm probably getting that wrong, so just correct me down below. I did read up on this in Engadget. Thankfully, they do a really good job, but I do a really poor job of kind of explaining the lore even when I am looking at it. But it was the Dragon Maw Orcs that kind of took over. They wanted to, well, actually they did basically really assault a few of the dragon aspects and forced her to lay a bunch of fertile eggs that they could then corrupt. We aren't going to get too deep into that because it was pretty darn nasty. But after that and after the cataclysm, we're basically rescuing. That's kind of what you're doing with the red dragonflight. Alright. So this is Velastraza. She is actually one of the red dragons, and she would like us to free the red drakes in Grim Batol and use them to destroy Trogs and Twilight's Hammer minions. So we will definitely help her with that. And Baleflame, another red dragon, would like us to Kill Aradux, the Duke of Below, who is a minion of the Old Gods. So, in we go. Now, Onyx, I don't think actually needs to have any of her pets out. This is, for her, a fairly low-level dungeon. We are going to go ahead and loot everything because I am very greedy and like to have as much gold as I possibly can. Plus, Onyx is a tailor, so picking up a lot of this stuff will be very, very handy. So basically, since I am doing 2 dungeons, what I'm going to do is probably not make you watch me do all of the trash mobs, but we are going to have a lot of fun on these dragons up here once I free them. Also, I did find out as I was going through this dungeon for the first time in a very long time, I had an issue with one of the bosses, even though he couldn't hurt me. And so I looked it up, and the fix to it I will show you when we get to him. But first, let's go dragon riding. Alright, we are going to use the engulfing flames and destroy Twilight's hammer. With our dragon, we will kill everything. Or at least a lot of everything. Now, I normally don't actually do this quest because, honestly, like I said before, I kind of enjoy killing all of these trash mobs. Even though they are just trash mobs. I like killing them because I like using them for the gold. But, you know, at least for this go-round, we're going to go ahead and do all of the quests. Because I think that sounds like a great idea. How are we doing on this? Have we killed everything we need to kill yet? We're getting there. One nice thing, if you're doing this kind of at level, then this is a really good way to clear off some of the stuff that might actually hurt you and your dungeon group. And if it doesn't kill them, it will at least weaken them. I did find that out when I went through here earlier on a different character. So, if you're going through this at level, definitely get everybody mounted up on a dragon and go through. Alright, we got all of our Twilight's hammer minions, but we need to ride one more dragon to kill a few more trogs. So when we go through this time, I'm not actually going to bother going after any more of the Twilight minions because I want the loot, thank you very much. And you can also use this as a kind of way to recon and see some of the bosses that you're going to be facing, who we will find out all about when we get up to them. Alright, have we gotten them all yet? Almost. Hopefully that should... Nope, we need one more trog. Not a problem. So, I never actually did this dungeon at level back in the day. When Cataclysm came out, I was in one of my I absolutely hate all dungeons mode, which I still am to a degree. I like dungeons just fine if I can go through them with kind of real life friends, I guess. It makes it a lot easier. And definitely if I have voice comms, which back in the day was a lot harder because I didn't have the voice comms that most people were using back then because you had to pay for it. And we didn't have Discord back in the day, so it was mostly if I could actually just get people on the telephone, which, let me tell you, is not the way to play WoW. So, a lot of times, I just didn't. But, now, with Discord, life has become so much easier. Alright, I will meet you guys back when we get to the next boss so that this video is not 6 hours long. And here we are at our first boss, General Umbrus. Let's see what the dungeon guide has to say about him. It says, as Azeroth's champions and their red dragon allies assault the gates of Grim Batol, the malefic General Umbrus leads the fortress's cultists and Twilight Dragonspawn defenders. Well, that doesn't tell us a whole heck of a lot about it. But that's alright. Obviously, he is definitely a corrupted dragonkin and needs to go down. And down he goes. Did we get anything good? No good transmog. Alright, I will meet you at the next boss. So our next boss is actually this absolutely lovely giant over here. Forge Master Throngus. Let's see if the dungeon guide actually is any better about him. Possibly not. He was a smith for the Twilight's Hammer cult. This massive Etin is eager to use the weapons and armor that he has forged to annihilate intruders in his domain. Well, I don't think he's going to last very long. Now, one thing that I can understand why the WoW developers didn't make all of these buildings able to go in, but just knowing what the architecture in Ironforge is like, I would love to be able to poke around inside of all these buildings. It would make me so happy. Of course, then I guess I might never actually leave this dungeon, because I would just live here. Yeah, alright, so this next boss, who is... that is the wrong key. Our next boss here, the Courier, is, he's a little bit difficult. He's just a mage, so he's not that hard to kill even at level. He's got a couple tricky little spells up his sleeve. But the big thing that I found out is if you are doing this solo for loot or for transmogging, do not kill his reinforcement dragon until she lands. Because if you kill her when she is in the air, then this boss will become unkillable. Which is sort of a pain in the butt, because then you cannot actually finish the quest, or... well, I mean, you can still finish the dungeon, you can still kill the final boss, but it's kind of annoying to have a boss that you can't kill that keeps shooting you as you go running by him. Also, watch out for these Twilight Enforcers. They will call a Twilight Drake to come and help them, even if you kill them before they should have actually lived. You know, I think it's just honestly kind of a power trip for me, going through here and just killing everything. And I think that's why I get such a kick out of going through these dungeons above level. Alright, so, Darga Shadowburner. If you kill his dragon, which he is going to call, before she actually lands, he will become unkillable. So, despite the fact that every instinct tells me to kill her as she is approaching us, resist that urge if you want to be able to kill him. Fun things that you find out. Alright, there we go. And you don't actually kill her. She's going to take off, leave him, and then you can actually kill him. But it took me a while, and I ended up going on both Reddit and the World of Warcraft forums to find this out. So, if you actually happen to be a World of Warcraft player and didn't know that already, well, now you do, and I hope it was actually useful for you. Alright, one more boss, and then we will move on and join Beryl as we do the raid in this, which should take a little bit longer. Hopefully not too much longer. Oh, we're being chased by a Drake. Sorry, Drake, you gotta die. But yeah, this is one of those dungeons that, like I said, honestly, I kind of didn't even realize it was here, since for so long I just didn't do dungeons. Alright, one thing that I do love in World of Warcraft is all of these kind of honestly Lovecraftian looking horror monsters. I mean, check him out. That is a face that I'm not even sure a mother could love. Considering I am a mother, I'm not sure how much I'd want to cuddle with that. But it is kind of neat. Alright, so let's go take out this Erudix, the Duke of Below, who definitely is quite Lovecraftian looking, and says, Yog Maku, Yog Makshush. He speaks Old God. Alright, we're gonna loot him, and that'll be it for this. So, I'm going to put this on pause, and we will join Beryl as we go through the Twilight Citadel. Alright, now here we are far up on top of the Twilight Citadel. Way up in the sky, you can see all of the Twilight Highlands spread out below us. And Beryl is about to go into this raid, which hopefully won't take me too long and I won't get too lost. Now, raids in World of Warcraft are so much bigger than anywhere else. So what we're going to do is get... There we go. That should kill everything quickly. But yeah, this is, I actually remember when I was with a guild a couple years ago, we had a couple of really fun times raiding, and again, it was a role-playing guild. And we went through and we did this raid slowly and with a lot of adventure. It was a lot of fun, and I am dying. Why am I dying? That's a good question. Probably stepped on something I shouldn't have. Not a problem. Okay, well that's interesting. I probably should have read up on this raid. Give me a few minutes. Alright, well either poor Beryl is weak now, or I was just definitely someplace where I shouldn't have been. Probably the second. But we're still going to go through and take out these guys. I think it was whatever that fun little orb was doing. Good job, me. But here we are in the first room, and as I was saying, I had a lot of fun back in the day doing this raid. I don't remember dying like that before, but hey, life she does go on, right? Alright, this is our first boss. And he's going to stun me. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is a little bit beefed up, but that's alright. Let's take a look here and see what this says about Halphus Wormbreaker. Imbued with unnatural power and stamina by Cho'Gall, the Enton Halphus Wormbreaker captures dragons for use as fodder in the Twilight's Hammer rituals. To this end, he's enslaved a behemoth proto-dragon to aid him in hunting down his winged prey. And now he's dead. Which is always a good way for your enemies in WoW to be. Alright, we will meet you back at the next boss as I go through all this trash. Alright, after clearing out this room over here, our next boss is a duo. It is Therleon and Valonia. Magically aged to adulthood, Valonia and Therleon were to be paragons among a new clutch of Twilight dragons, leading their brood in scouring Azeroth of all life. Instead, they waste their incredible powers constantly bickering and fighting with each other. Sibling rivalry. Gotta always watch out for it. So, over here we have Therleon. Let's see if we can take him out really quick. He's like, no, I'm taking off. And there's Valonia. Down they go. Yeah, I had to have been just in the wrong spot. Now, one of the things that I usually do, and one of the reasons I love doing the old content raids and dungeons is, honestly, I'm always hoping that I am going to get either a mount or a pet or something exciting like that. I'm pretty sure I've gotten all of the pets from this raid, but since I can't remember, it's always fun to go through it. I do love, I know a lot of people probably give a lot of crap to people who are into the pets, but honestly, they're probably one of my favorite things about World of Warcraft. Alright, next one is the Ascendant Council. As the most powerful Twilight's Hammer cultists to be twisted into elemental beings, the Ascendant Council members have long forgotten their existence as mere mortals. From their wicked sanctum, they oversee the selection of new Ascension candidates. Now, if I remember correctly, this fight is long. It's not actually hard, it's just one of those long fights because everybody wants to get in on it. And I think you have to get them all brought down, and they slow you. There we go. Come on, guys. Everybody pile on down. Definitely an impressive display. I think they all combine into one Ascendant Lord, and then I should be freed to actually do some work here. And if I do, I feel my doom. Nice, and we even got an achievement, which is always something fun to get in World of Warcraft. What did we get here? We got the Elementary achievement, which I have no idea what that's for, but let's take a look. Defeat the Elementium monstrosity in the Bastion of Twilight while only allowing it to create one liquid ice patch. Well, isn't that exciting? Now, I'm pretty sure that if you do this raid on the higher difficulties, which I think I'm only in here in normal, there is a secret boss that I have done before. I don't think I'm going to do it on this run, honestly, because I think you need 2 people for it. So it looks like we are now at Cho'Gall, who is going to be our final boss, even if he's not the final boss of the entire raid. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that there is a different final boss for this raid that we are not going to do, mostly because I don't have a second player to do it with. And I'm pretty sure I tried to do it solo a couple years ago and found out it just does not work. So, I'm just gonna take out these guys and go play with Cho'Gall here, who is this lovely 2-headed ogre. And he's really fun. His heads argue with each other, which honestly has always amused me to no end. So, let's take him out here. He's going to do all of the things that he wants to do, but thankfully we are so far over level, we took him out. And just because I can, let's see what it says about Cho'Gall. Under Cho'Gall's control, the orcish Twilight's Hammer clan was transformed into a murderous cult obsessed with the old gods and their herald Deathwing. Extended contact with his Dark Master has warped both Cho'Gall's mind and body. And I'm pretty sure if it shows us... Yeah, there is one more layer. It's the Twilight Caverns down here. We are not going to actually go down there because, like I said, probably too many times in this video, I'm pretty sure that you need 2 people for it, but we are going to check out our loot and see if we got anything good. Did we get anything good? Best part about Beryl is she is a lockpick. Since she is a rogue, she can pick any of these. Did we get any others? Yes. See what's in these lock boxes. We got a crossbow and some wrist straps. So, nothing amazing and no pets on this run, but that's okay. Not that big of a deal. Anyway, I hope that you actually enjoyed this video. I kind of enjoy making these, so I hope that somebody enjoys watching them, even if sometimes I do babble like a moron while I'm making them. Next week, we are going to go through, I think, the wetlands. I think that is our next zone. Yes, it is. And hopefully, I will be able to show you where to get an awesome pet if you are actually into the battle pet thing. Probably one that you already knew about if you are a WoW player, but if not, I can show you where to get a cute little raptor baby. But until then, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you've done these at level, because like I said, I've never actually done this dungeon or this raid at level, but I have had a lot of fun with it over level as I farm for money and pets and all of the other things that make the WoW economy go round. Until then, though, I will see you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week.